Well, it was bound to happen eventually. I just didn't expect it to happen so soon. Today, I agree with Donald Trump on something. Let me be clear. I defer to nobody when it comes to Trump hatred. I am terrified of what his presidency may do to our country, and I've made dozens of videos talking about just that. I was willing to get into bed with anybody to defeat him in the last election. And I do mean anybody. But my hypocrisy does know some bounds. I refuse to get into bed with the CIA and the foreign policy establishment. It's their fault that Trump got elected in the first place. It's Washington, D.C. that killed the Middle East. It's Washington, D.C. that chose to keep on fighting the Cold War 25 years after the dissolution of the Soviet Union. If it weren't for the frustration caused by the very predictable failures that those policies brought, then Donald Trump would not have gotten elected. And that's why we have to see beyond our hatred of Trump in this fight between the president-elect and the United States intelligence community. Last week, the spies issued another report on Russian hacking of the U.S. election. Anybody who looked at this report honestly could see that there was nothing there. There were no specifics. There wasn't any intelligence you can't get from reading the newspaper regularly. Of course Russia hates Hillary Clinton. Of course Russia produces propaganda, and of course they try to hack the email accounts of foreign leaders. We do that too in the United States, and we do a much better job. The number of supposedly progressive people that are out there defending the CIA right now is deeply disappointing. What nobody seems to be asking is, what do these agencies get out of going to such lengths to embarrass Trump and Russia? What do they get out of this? What they are doing is protecting a line of business. They are trying desperately to keep Trump from bringing about a real peace or real settlement with Russia. They find this prospect terrifying. From the get-go, the only aspect of Trump policy that I've found at all attractive is his attitude towards Russia. Foreign policy experts will tell you that both Bush and Obama started off their administrations being friendly to Russia too. Respectfully, that's bullshit. What matters isn't what you say, what matters is what you do. Bush took some of the most strategic parts of the old Soviet Union and added them to NATO, a military alliance that has no purpose other than opposing Russia. Obama started a massive multi-country proxy war aimed at taking down one of Russia's only solid allies in Syria. This is not friendship. I'll talk about that a bit more in the blog post associated with this video. Trump seems to be willing to do things that Bush and Obama weren't willing to do, like acknowledge that Russia has strategic interests of its own and a fairly justified sense of paranoia about its national security. This is very different from the policy since the end of the Cold War, and as much as I hate to admit it, it's better. There is precisely one place in the world that thinks that the last 3 years of Russia policy have been successful, and that's Washington, D.C. Rogue Russia is fantastic for the intelligence community and the entire foreign policy establishment. Arms sales have gone through the roof. Fighting Russia makes all of our old, nasty Cold War alliances look sensible again. Also, learning Arabic is hard. It's much more fun to focus on Eastern European languages and locations. Do you know how hard it is to get a decent beer in the Middle East? These things may sound trivial, but they're really not. Bureaucracies have interests too. And by threatening to create a real peace with Russia, Trump is working directly against the interests of the U.S. foreign policy establishment. That is what we should be focusing on this week. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And if you'd like to help me make more videos like this one, Please click on the Patreon link here to find out how. Thanks.